Volkswagen's Transporter is claimed to be the world's most successful commercial vehicle. After all, it's been going for some 40 years now, and in that time they've built 6.7 million examples. Started life as a microbus version of the familiar old Beetle with a flat-four air-cooled engine in the back. Since then, the range has blossomed into vans, pickup trucks, people carriers, diesel and four-wheel drive versions, as well as the motor caravans. But now, VW have decided that it's time for a radical change in the concept of the vehicle and hence its mechanical layout. Well, here it is, the new Transporter and Caravelle range, and it's radically different. They've taken the engine from the back, put it up here at the front, driving the front wheels. Now, of course, that means the driving position is much further back than the old Transporter with the Ultimate in forward control. You're sitting behind the front wheels. But you haven't lost as much space as you would have done in, say, a Renault Espace or a Nissan Prairie, because they put the engine in transversely, and they've done a very good job of packaging it at the front here. Of course, that has had an effect on the interior. So let's see just how much difference it's made. Well, the answer is not a great deal. All three rows of seats have moved back in the body, and that means the rear seat here is much closer to the back door than the old Transporter, but the load space is deeper because you don't have an engine underneath. All five of the passengers in the rear have an armrest. The seats are very comfortable. They've changed the design of this centre module, and it folds down to a coffee table if you're treating it as an executive limousine. The seat itself slots out easily and stows in the back if you want more luggage space, and these seats come out with the removal of 4 bolts. But it's not as flexible as the Renault Espace system, where you can position any seat where you want it in the interior of the vehicle. You can still walk through to the front though. As you pull away, you're immediately aware that this is a much more conventional petrol engine than the old Transporter. They're derived from the Audi range, 2-litre 4-cylinder petrol, 2.5-litre 5-cylinder petrol, and a 5-cylinder diesel. But they've been detuned to suit the Transporter. They deliver their power low down in the mid-range, and they slog away really well. With the weight of the new engines right up front in the nose, the Transporter is much more stable than the old version, especially at speed on motorways when in a crosswind you could find yourself occupying 2 lanes. As you'd expect, the ride in the driving compartment is also much better because you're sitting behind the axle. In the old Transporter, you felt every bump you went over. On the old Transporter, you could slide open the centre windows. Now, on this one, they're fixed. They've given you an extra fan to ventilate the passenger compartment, but certainly my occupants in the back complained of feeling stuffy on long journeys. As you'd expect, the gear change is a great improvement on the old Transporter, where you had a sort of wand that felt as though you were stirring porridge. Now, like all Volkswagens, the new Transporter is very competent, but it does look a bit like a Ford Transit. You have to ask if they've sacrificed some of their individuality. It is a very conventional vehicle.